right? So that's a long time. That's a long time. And I spent many, many years mentoring prevention specialists to go into schools and to teach young people to say no to drugs. And I went through the phase of DARE.
Oh, yeah.
And I know a lot of you remember that. And I went through the phase of just say no. And then I went to the phase of say no, just say no to drugs, make healthy choices. And now the campaign is turn to. Turn to your friends. Turn to healthy choices. I'm not sure about turn to. I didn't buy into it, and I don't think our young people are buying into it. Okay? And I worked with several different programs. It was multi-million-dollar agency. And on one end of the building, we saw clients that were seeking treatment. And they would ask, on that end of the building, what kind of drugs do you use? And get you help. And on my end of the building, which were 3 different prevention programs, we would say, just say no to drugs to all the young people. To drugs. And your life will be better. And I'm a slow learner. And I'll admit it, I'm a slow learner. It took me 20 years. Finally, the last year, I realized we're getting nowhere by just telling our kids to say no to drugs. We're getting nowhere. We were giving out doTERRA bags, and I'm not knocking doTERRA bags. We were giving out doTERRA bags for Aunt Betsy and Grandma Gertrude to put their old prescription drugs in and throw away so that our young people didn't get into their medicine cabinets and use their drugs. But I'm going to tell you what that was doing. What that was doing was like the dam that was broke upstream, and the village was downstream, and they were giving empty water bottles to the people about midstream. And y'all stand in the middle, and you fill up those water bottles to keep from the village downstream from flooding. That's a great concept, but we're not fixing the dam, right? We're not fixing it. By telling our kids don't use drugs, we're not fixing the drug problem. By sending people to treatment, we're not fixing the drug problem. And I realized that. And I wanted to fix a drug problem. And I realized that I had to make a change. And so I left that job. And I came to this job. And I want to tell you where I'm at. And I want to tell you why. Okay? And so I am at Smith County Clubhouse. And let me tell you why I'm there. And you're going to see these statistics and you'll see why. 1 in 4 people in the world have a mental disorder. Okay, in the town. We always had that bloody phrase in the town.
Just one?
Just one. It's probably my mom. And then there's crazy ladies in a lot of towns, in a lot of neighborhoods. Okay, what's gone wrong? Okay, and I'm telling you, this is not a Democrat and a Republican problem. This is a we the people. This is not a United States problem. This is around the world. It's an international problem. And we got to do something about it. Okay? And we know that 1 in 4 people have a problem. We know that there are 450 million people that have mental disorders. Now, a lot of those people are not diagnosed. A large percentage of them are not diagnosed. Very, very large percentage of them. And in that 1 in 4, that outnumbers cancer, diabetes. How many people you know have cancer? I had cancer. That outnumbers cancer. More people have a mental disorder than cancer. Okay? That's why we have a drug problem. Now, I'm not saying everybody that's on drugs has a mental disorder, but we have a lot of individuals that are on drugs that have the mental disorder. If we can address the mental disorder, we can eliminate the drugs. It's kind of like the empty water bottles. Let's don't do the empty water bottles. Let's fix the dam. Let's fix the mental disorders. And giving them more drugs is not going to fix the mental disorder. We've got to attack it a different way. And Clubhouse does that. Or we try. We try. And you can see how much money we spend. $2.5 trillion a year is spent on mental disorder. 90 suicides every hour. And 90% of those are because of mental disorder. That is unnecessary. That is unacceptable. We've got to stop that. And if you'll look at the teens at risk, 50% of our teens, and most of them at the age of 14 and younger. Mm-hmm. And you know as well as I do where that's coming from. Our social media, our music. Where does that start? It starts with us. We've got to stop that happening. We've got to step in. We've got to do our part. We've got to do our part. Incarcerations, a lot of the people who are incarcerated, it's a mental disorder. We've got to do our part. So what is Clubhouse? I want to tell you what Clubhouse is. And I'm very excited about Clubhouse. And it's a very new concept, and a lot of people don't know about it, and I'm here to tell you about it. Okay? The very first Clubhouse was started in Manhattan, New York in 1948. If you've never heard of Clubhouse, I didn't either until I learned about it. A former supervisor of mine called and said, hey, I'm looking for an executive director, and I'd love to have you come and work. And she told me about it, and I said, that's what I've been looking for. I want to do something that makes a difference. The patients, 6 hospital, and they met on the steps of their treatment center, and they realized that's what worked for them, that support. So they formed a Clubhouse. And it took off from there, and now we have over 300. In fact, there's 320 international Clubhouses. And there are a total of 13 in the state of Texas. Did you know that? 13 in the state of Texas. Smith County Clubhouse is one. The closest is Plano and Richardson. That's the closest. It is critical that we keep one in Smith County. Urgently critical that we keep one in Smith County. Most of our participants do not have transportation, so we got to keep them here. And I apologize for my graphic jumping up there, but it sure did. So what is Clubhouse? Clubhouse offers an adult. We don't have housing. We're open from 9 to 4, 3 days a week. To get to 5 days a week. Right now, we're 3 days a week. With mental illness, it gives them hope and opportunity to come in and be around peers to get support. That way, it brings them up, gets out of isolation. They're no longer depressed and gets out of isolation. It's an evidence-based program. We follow the Clubhouse International standards. There's 37 standards that we follow, and they're very, very strict. I will tell you, they're very, very strict. And we are trying right now to get accredited. It's very expensive to get accredited, about $6,000, and we're poor. And there's a lot of things that they require. We're open 5 days a week, and it is recovery oriented. Well, when I say recovery oriented, we are not clinical at all. We don't talk clinical there. When you come in, we're not clinical. But it's their journey. They're there to make up their mind what do they need? What can I do for them, and what do they need from other people to recover mentally? And how can I help them achieve those goals? And some of them are ready to roll, and some of them are way slow, and we have to meet them where they're at. Peer focused. So the peers are the ones that help them down that journey. Okay? It's not me. Now I do help them. I'm going to be honest with you. I do help them. And I get attached to them. I was crying yesterday. I'm going to be honest with you. I was crying yesterday in the back room with one. It's geared towards their improving their abilities to socialize and to get back into society. They have been so isolated and home and depressed, and because of feeling like nobody cares about them, and I have a mental illness and I'm a bad person, they don't want to get out in society. And we don't want them to feel that way. They're not bad people. They're very people. They're very, very smart people. And we've got to help them realize that. And we have to give them the tools to adapt. Clubhouse is not a treatment center. We're not a clinical, we're not clinical treatment at all. It's not a day camp. It's not a recreation center. We don't have pool tables. We don't have ping pong tables. We don't come and hang out and sleep and things like that. And it's not a fit for everybody. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been there about 8 months and I've had to turn 3 people away because they came and they thought that they could just sit around and play on their phone and not engage with other people and talk about drugs and alcohol and bring people down. And that's not what we're about. It's not what we're about. And eventually I hope they come back. I want them. I will stay in touch with them and I want them to come back. But it's a positive place and we want to keep it positive. To be eligible, you have to be 18 years old. You have to have a mental illness. And to whatever degree, we have some that have a mild case of anxiety, and we have some people that come in that door and they speak to a friend all day long, an imaginary friend. I have a couple of people that carry a teddy bear with them, and that's their friend. Background check with no sexual assault and no violent behavior. We don't want it to be scary for anybody else or put anybody at risk. And they have to have a commitment to their recovery. We want them to be on a journey to recovery because we can help them better that way. And then we also want them to be respectful to others. So it's simply just a call. They fill out a simple 2-page application. We run a very simple background check to make sure they're not sexual assaulter or have committed a violent crime, and then they can join. It's free. It is free, a free program. And so I'll tell you about this in Smith County, what we represent. Hope, commitment, friendship, faith. 2 things you don't see up there that I wish was up there. This was made before I came along, is positive. When you walk into our clubhouse, you will hear nothing but positive. We have fun. It's positive. When somebody walks in the door, I may be at the back of the building, but I'll holler at them and say, hey, Gates has been to our facility, and I've been at the back of the building, and I'll say, hey, Gates. Do I not? I'll holler at them across the back of the building. We're very, very positive. And we have fun. We have fun. The other thing you don't see up there is no stigma. Okay? I don't care where you came from. I told a member the other day, she said, well, you just don't, you don't like me because I'm from some kind of party. I'm from a different political party than you. I said, I don't care what kind of party you're from. Right. It doesn't matter. We're just people. We should be, all of us should be for America. And she said, yeah, and I said, it's like a church affiliation. I don't care what kind of church affiliation you're from. It doesn't matter to me. I said, one of my very best friends was a Jehovah's Witness. And I said, the only thing I didn't like about her is I couldn't give her a Christmas gift because I'm a giver. But I loved her. I loved her anyway. But that's the only thing I didn't like about her. But we loved each other. And she said, well, you wouldn't like my sister because she's an atheist. And I said, I don't know if I've ever met an atheist. But I really wish I could. Because I'd love to sit down and have a visit with them. I'd love to talk to them. That's the kind of things that we have conversations we have. Because we want people to understand that we care about everybody. Okay? So that's Clubhouse. Clubhouse was birthed out of the behavioral health leadership team in Tyler 6 years ago. It was the first location opened in June of 22. We have 2 members, the original 2 members, there were 10. We still have those 2 members that come. We relocated into our new location on May of 23rd, of 2023, and we currently have 41 members. And we had 5 join last week. And it was a busy day, I will tell you that. So here's where we're located, 106 in Tyler. That little building there, you may have recognized it. It used to be a beauty salon. At one time, it was a resale shop, I understand. We're doing the best that we can. We're very poor. We moved into this building, we serve lunch 3 days a week. And when we moved into this building, it didn't even have the proper electrical outlets. So we wrote a small, very, very small grant, and we're able to run wire, and we used to plug in crock pots in the back, and it would throw the breaker. And so we wrote a small grant, about $16,000, and we're able to get a stove put in and some rewiring and some things like that. And we have a actually functioning kitchen now. It's really awesome. And so it's home to us. We love it. We love it, and the members love it. So want you to see it if you ever stop by and see us. So we are very proud of it. And I want to say, you're looking at my graphics here. Our internet is horrible there. It's horrible. And I had worked on this PowerPoint presentation at the back of the building. And it's Wi-Fi. And some of our members came in, and I was trying to work on it, and they're very loud. And I was working on it yesterday, and so they wanted to get on the computers at the back. So I said, you know what, y'all stay back here and work, and I'll go to the front of the building. I picked up my laptop, and I walked to the front of the building, and we lost internet connection. I lost my whole PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, man.
So, 3:45 yesterday afternoon, I'm throwing this PowerPoint presentation together, and Colby's like, where's our presentation? And I thought, it looks kind of not so great, but bear with me, it's okay. We make the best of what we have, and I know all of you do the same thing. You just roll with the flow. You know what? And you make it happen. It's all about the people. It's not about the money. Okay? So here's what we do. We do voluntary president. We have 3 units. We have a culinary, a business, and an education unit. Okay? The culinary, they prepare meals. They plan healthy meals. We want to teach them healthy meals. We feed them 3 days a week. They do. I don't. They prepare the meals. They clean up the meals. They learn transferable skills. So our goal is to teach them things that they can get employed by. Okay, if they want to work. Some don't. I'll tell you that, but some do. So they can learn skills that they can go and maybe work in the food industry. They learn cross-contamination. They learn how to make healthy meals, how to do in the correct order, how to store food, and things like that. We also teach them, if they're living at home alone, if they cook tacos on Tuesday, they can fix what leftover taco meat, maybe a stuffed potato on Wednesday. And that way they make their food go further, because most of them are very extreme limited income.
Sure.
Okay, so we teach them that in culinary. The business unit, they do release a newsletter twice or every other month. If you want our list, I'd love to have you on our list and get our newsletter. We do data entry. We have a couple that are learning Flourish. It's a database that we capture members and the duties that they do and things like that. Social media, there's how to post on social media. I am not a social media expert, I will tell you that, but we're all learning together. They make new member packets. They orient our new members. We teach them how to welcome new members. That's their job. It's not my job, it's their job. The Clubhouse is their clubhouse, it's not mine. Update brochures. Our education unit is we have our members teach other members things they know. You would be surprised the things that our members know, the skills they have that they can share. And then we also like for volunteers to come in and teach our members things. There's some pictures of our culinary unit. This is the main area, and what you can see in this picture is we tag team people. Okay, so this is an opportunity for 2 people to do a job. So they're less likely to feel intimidated. but it also gives them an opportunity to build a relationship with somebody. So they're talking at the same time. I had a young man, he's about 26, I believe, and he is the smartest young man that you would ever meet. He has extreme high anxiety. He watches Toy Story movies every single day. Loves Toy Story, dresses in their clothes. And he can tell you every line in Toy Story movie. It's brilliant young man. And I had a conversation in the back with him one day, and he said, people don't like me because I'm weird. And I said, people don't like me because I'm weird too, but you know what, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And he said, we're a lot alike. And I said, we sure are. and it's just sometimes those conversations that brings a person's smile. And he just smiled all day. He just had a smile on his face all day. And he's a really cool kid. He's a really cool kid. So it just helps. It just helps for them to build those relationships. Okay, and then our business unit, we have 4 computers. All of them were donated. We have work areas that we give our members on the lunch. We do charge $1.50 for lunch. We have our members take the money. The money for the $1.50 goes back into a fund for our members for them to do events that they want to do. Okay, they can go to the movies together. They can buy something, and they want to buy a Cricut to do something, to print things, or they bought an awning and 8 chairs the other day to go to the park and have a hot dog cookout. It was what they wanted to do. One of the other clubhouses that's been around 11 years, they all saved their money. They have quite a few more members than what we have, and they went on a cruise. I don't know, we're ready to take our members on a cruise yet. They're up to $900. That's amazing for this little group of 41 members. So it's just amazing. And they don't want to spend the money. That's good. But it's a lot of fun. And then the education unit, you'll see that they're teaching each other things. They want to, some of our members are very, very smart. We have an architect. He has gone back to work, but we have an architect that had a mental breakdown. Very, very smart man. He's gone back to work. We have a recreational therapist. She has started going back to work. She did not want to get on disability. Everybody told her, get on disability. And she said, I don't want to. I said, no, what do you want to do? She said, I don't want to work. I said, then work. What do I need to do to get you to go to work? I got to find a job. Let's find you a job. So I did some mock interviews with her. I helped her fill out applications and sat with her in the same room when she was doing a phone interview. She has 3 companies that have hired her to do in-home recreational therapy with people. And she is amazing, amazing. Now she's just doing wonderful. This is the same young lady. She had a brain injury. Now this is a lady that had, she's in her late 30s. When she was 15, she had a car wreck and had a traumatic brain injury. Recovered, went to college, and then had a relapse later on in life, and could not function on the job, and they laid her off. It's been laid off for about a year now. And she's very depressed. I will say that. She's very, very depressed. You would never believe it if you met her, but on Sundays, this would surprise you, but on Sundays, she would go to church because that was her savior, is going to church. She would go to church, and when she would leave church, she would pull off on the side of the road and cut. She would cut. And so she came to Clubhouse. It's probably not quite a year. It's been not quite a year. And she said, I've got to do something different. I can't live this way. I've got to do something different. And she told us the other day, she said, since the day I walked through Clubhouse, I have not cut again since I walked through the door. So, it says, and she was working. Now, is it a full-time job? No. No, but you know what? She might not ever work a full-time job. but that's okay. She's still valuable. She's valuable. And she's doing something that makes her feel valuable. But we'll get her there. She's golden. I told her, I said, I've interviewed and hired, I don't know how many people in my 21 years. I used to do the hiring, and people always told me I was good at firing. And I said, I don't want to fire people. I want to be good at hiring people, not firing people. Yeah. And I said, I think I've probably hired over 400 people. And I said, I would hire you over probably 80% of the people that I've ever hired. I would rather work with value. They have purpose. They build social. They don't have a family, a place to feel like they belong and they matter anymore. They just don't feel like they matter anymore. They're a burden. A lot of them feel like they're a burden. Some of the things we do is we provide guidance on resume building and skills assessment. A lot of times I'll sit down and say, well, what are you good at? And the thing that I like to ask them is, what do you enjoy doing? For the longest time, I have worked forever doing things that I didn't enjoy doing. Now I want to do things that I enjoy doing, and I want them to do things they enjoy doing. We should all do that. We should all do a job that we enjoy doing, not something we have to do. And I've done that for, I don't know, since I was 15 years old. I'm ready to do something I enjoy, and I enjoy this. Help with online job applications. I'll sit down. Some of them really don't know how to fill out an online job application. I do a lot of mock interviews with them. A lot of them. And it's funny because we end up laughing at the end of it. And they get through it and they're like, well, that wasn't so bad. And really help them with the proper interview attire. I think a lot of our young people need that today, whether they're having an illness or not. Provide assistance with disability applications and assist them with unemployment claims. Our goal is to really get them to being productive in some way, but some of them are just not ever going to be able to go back to work, so we have to help them with the disability and the unemployment. We do community trainings like blood pressure and healthy living. UT comes in and does a lot of trainings with us. We're always open for anybody to come in and help to teach them just something. It doesn't matter what it is. They really, really want to learn budgeting. But I will tell you this, if anybody wants to come and work with them, is they have about a 20-minute. So you have to do about 20 minutes with them. I've learned that. And so in small things at a time. Not a whole lot. It's usually one step at a time. We do an exercise and healthy living. Our recreational therapist will get up and sometimes do some activities with us. We do have some of the individuals that are have seizures and some things like that, but we've learned to provide them with the help that they need. You'll see where some of them are sitting around doing a lot of it's they just want to be with their friends. They build very, very strong friendships. Some of them do not have a single friend. Not one single friend. We're always open. Okay, we're the only nonprofit I know anywhere, yes, the clubhouses that are on Thanksgiving and Christmas that are open. Okay, a lot of our health participants have family members that have disowned them. It's kind of like substance abuse. When I dealt with substance abuse, their family members disowned them because they had just had enough of them. And mental health is the same way. A lot of the family members are like, done with you, go. And so they don't know where to go. And so we always open our doors on Christmas and Thanksgiving so they have a place to go. Okay? How do we get refunded? Foundations, we had a small startup and a remodel. I just wrote, and y'all are the only ones to know this, so keep it quiet, so I'm going to say it real quietly because I'm not supposed to announce this. I just wrote a grant, a Hog Foundation grant, which is a very prestigious grant, and I got $55,000 for hire an additional person, one person, and for transportation for our members, because transportation is what they all need. And it started May 1st. But they have to announce it, and it's supposed to be announced real soon. It actually was supposed to be yesterday, and I haven't seen it, so nobody's supposed to know. But intern that will be coming in and helping us. Texas Clubhouse gives us a little bit of money for 6 months. We get some brochure stuff, East Texas Giving Day, private donations, members fundraise. There's where we're doing some fundraising. Here's some outcomes you want to know. They're having a better quality of life, physical and mental health, employment rates. I want to get to our members though. We have 7 that are currently working part-time. We have 2 enrolled in college. We have 2 enrolled in peer support training, and we have 1 completed her recreational therapist. How can you help? This is a real key question, okay? Volunteer to teach our members something. If you have a skill, and I mean anything simple, they'd love to learn it. Visit our clubhouse and inspire our members. Just stop in. You don't have to have an invite. Come have lunch with us. We'll even pay for your $1.50 lunch. Just stop by. Just go. We eat at 12 o'clock. Come in and have lunch with us, and we have pretty good food. Refer individuals to our clubhouse that need it. Okay? Refer them. If you know somebody that we can help, send them. Okay? Tell others about Clubhouse. And we always love donations, but I'm a firm believer that if a program works, the money will come. Okay? We are poor, but I'm telling you, if the program works, the money will come. So I don't want money. I want members, and I want people to believe in Clubhouse and know that it's out there. Okay? And I want to thank you for your time. And she is going to show a real quick clip.
I'm going to try.
This is me. If you want to get in touch with me, and she's going to show a real quick clip while she gets that up and running. And it's a real quick little link that one of our board members put together. It just shows you a little bit about Clubhouse. And it literally takes 10 seconds. She can get it to run.
It's all already in
These are some of our members, by the way, and we are not professional videoers. But one of our board members had this idea, and I said, run with it. And she did a great job. Even more.
Is that it or no?
She's getting that going. The magic potion, the magic wand, is let's get rid of mental health. Let's fix it together, all of us. If we get rid of that, we'll get rid of drug abuse.
Hey,
Yeah.
Karen,
Yeah.
while she's starting this up, I just want to make some quick comment. I've been involved with the Precursor organization and with Karen and with Linda Hoyer, who's the other half of you, for years. And this stuff works. I've got a sister who had this problem, which is why I got involved in it. This is totally different from what you normally think of as an institution, or it's not a, as she said, it's not a clinic, but it's the socialization. I didn't understand how this worked initially, but if you go to that website and you look at the one in Arkansas, where's that, Little Rock, Karen?
It's okay.
And another one in San Antonio?
San Angelo, there's several.
You can see how they work. And it's totally amazing. We're very fortunate to have one in Tyler.
And also,
Job.
thank you so much. I was going to show you, that's what keeps me busy. Thank you all so much.
Don't show anywhere yet. Hang on just a second. We've got something for you. So, you can come back up here. So, yes, you have to. We've had a lot of programs. You guys know this, that we don't have enough help for people who suffer from mental health illnesses. So this is a wonderful thing that you're doing. Thank you for taking that's a huge charge that you're taking on, and we appreciate it. So we made a donation to the Literacy Capital Town in your honor for being a speaker today. So thank you. Hey, everybody, so now's the time we're gonna do, oh gosh, okay, what is this called?
Ace of Diamonds.
Ace of Diamonds, I forgot. Okay.
Wait.
Let you draw the ticket. Okay.
Who needs to draw?
Yes.
I get straw.
And if you could read the last 5
The last
digits.
3 or 5?
3.
3, 4, 1, 5. 4, 1. All right.
Second time.
And now, well, we're almost there. It's almost there. He just has to get the Ace of Diamonds out of those cards.
5 cards, $995.
Now,
I'm there, right?
Well, I'm afraid.
of the things that we think, say, or do. Second.
All concerned.
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?